beautiful internet family. Welcome to Trumpet Tuesdays. Yay! As part of one of my New Year's resolutions, I resolved to play my trumpet more, and to hold myself accountable, I decided to make something called Trumpet Tuesdays for the month of January. I will be doing a video every Tuesday all about the trumpet and how to play. Today is the first day. The first Tuesday in January. It's the first Trumpet Tuesday. Are you excited? I'm excited and pretty nervous, but it's gonna be something we go through together. What a journey already. Before we begin, here are some things that you will need for today's lesson. Ideally a trumpet, the mouthpiece. If you do not have a trumpet, never fear, we can improvise. So one of the things we're going to be talking about today is fingering on your valves. So to do a makeshift valve contraption, you can grab, and what I've done is just found 3 clicky pens and tape them together. I used packing tape because that was all I could find. We'll also need some white paper or paper of some kind to take down some notes, and a pen or a pencil. Ideally, you will have like some sort of music stand, something to put your music or your notes on so that you can practice. You can also just lean things up against a surface. Another thing you will need is access to the internet so that you can look up an online metronome and tuner. The tuner is for if you have a trumpet. If you don't have a trumpet yet, you don't need a tuner. But you will need some sort of metronome thing to help you with the exercises I'm going to give you today to practice. This is just something that helps you keep time. You can, beats per minute, you can make it really fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a, or really slow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. You get the idea. Lastly, you'll need some words of affirmation. You are so enough. You got this. It's Tuesday. Anything is possible. And one little plug before we get started. I am not a professional trumpet player, nor do I make money to play the trumpet, or am I an accredited teacher. So take that for what you will. Okay, so let's begin. If you have a trumpet, you can follow along using that. We won't need it for the first couple of minutes here. If you don't, never fear. You have improvised a little bit, so we can do it. So we'll go through this together. I don't know where you are music reading ability wise, so I'm just going to assume no knowledge. So first, what you will need to do is learn how to read the time in music, if that makes sense. So we're gonna work in 4/4, which is just 4 beats per measure. It's denoted like this. Okay, so this is a treble clef. I've drawn it really poorly, but there it is. This is 4/4, so 4 beats per 4 measures, or 4 beats per measure. So this would be a measure as denoted by these lines in between. And so these are the basics of the notes that you'll need to learn how to read. So there's your whole note, which is 4 beats per measure. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's one note. So if I was playing that on the trumpet, it would be da. That's it. I counted to 4 in my head. These are half notes, so 2 beats per note. So if I was going 1, 2, 3, 4, da, da, I didn't do that at the same note, but you get the idea. So the way that you count that in music is 1, 3, because they take up 1, 2, 3, 4. Does that make sense? Does that make sense so far? Okay. And then you have your quarter notes. So that's 1 beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I was playing that on the trumpet, 2, 3, 4, da, 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 da. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you have your eighth notes. So this is 1/2 beat per every note. So you count that as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So if I was playing this on the trumpet, 1, 2, 3, 4. Da 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 da. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Let's go through it again. So a whole note. That's 4 beats in one note on the trumpet. 1, 2, 3, 4. Da 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 da. Look at you reading music. Number 2 is breathing exercises. This is really important because you have to be able to have controlled breathing and to focus your breathing when you're playing the trumpet and to potentially play for long periods of time without taking a breath. So a really, really simple exercise that you can do is it's like timing yourself breathing in and breathing out, breathing in, holding, breathing out. So I've written one down for you and we'll see if we can do it together. Okay, here's the breathing exercise, and I hope I spelled breathe right. Take a deep, yeah, breathe. I think that's right. Don't judge me if it's wrong. Okay, so we have our, do you remember what that is? The whole note. So we have our whole notes all across here. And because this is just breathing, by the way, I just used it on, it doesn't matter what note of the scale it is. We'll get into that in a minute, but I just used a generic G. It doesn't have to be a certain sound, so don't worry about that yet. Okay, so what this is telling you is to set your metronome to 80. So my metronome has different numbers around it, so I've set it to 80 and I'll power it on. So that's going at 80. Okay. So now what you're going to do is count in by 4, and it's having you breathe in for 2 whole notes. So 4 plus 4 is 8. So 4 counts, 8 counts, excuse me, and then breathe out for 8 counts. Breathe in for 8 counts, hold for 4 counts, breathe out for 8 counts, and then repeat. That's what that means. Start over here from the beginning and then end. Okay? So we're going to do this together. You ready? I'll count in by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Repeat. You did it! Your first breathing exercise. So something that I would recommend doing before you start playing, you can obviously make this different. So if you recall the different types of notes, so you can make those half notes instead and do breathe in for 4. So write 2 half notes and then breathe out for 4, breathe in for 4, hold for 2, breathe out for 4. So you can start there. But yeah, it's a good challenge, and it's something to work up to and a good place to start. Now that we've talked about length of notes and a breathing exercise, we can talk about the B flat scale on the trumpet. So this is a B flat instrument. I'm not going to get into the differences and specifics, mostly because, again, I'm not a qualified teacher, and so I would probably say something wrong, and that's what Google is for. But you need to know that this is a B flat instrument. And so you're using the B flat scale. We're talking about fingerings here. This is important. Your pointer finger is 1, middle finger is 2, and your ring finger is 3. So when you see next to a note 1, it means you're pressing down your finger that's a 1. So here, let's do this. So 1, 2, 3. So And this is on your right hand, by the way. Here is a B flat scale. It goes from C to C, and there are 8 notes. So right here, 0 means none. So none of your fingers are pressing down at all. Okay, so C, D is 1 and 3, E is 1 and 2, F is 1, G is none, A is 1 and 2, B is 2, and C is 0 again. So the notes that are the same for the most part are the same, which is nice. It's less to memorize. So if we're going through this, right, your 1, 2, 3, and this is where you can use your valves, label them, right? So 1, 2, 3. If I'm holding this, I'll just use my fingers. So C, D is 1 and 3. So these 2 fingers down, and your middle finger would stay up. E is 1 and 2, 1 and 2. F is 1. G is none. A is 1 and 2. B is 2. And C is none. So C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C. Yay! Let's practice again, shall we? So, you have your fingers numbered if you need to. You can also mark the backs of them, but pretty easy. 1, 2, 3. Here's my valves. 1, 2, 3. I'm holding them. So remember, C is 0, and then D is 1 and 3. E is 1 and 2. Okay, 1, 2. F is 1. Just the 1. G is none. A is 1 and 2. B is 2. C, none. So if I'm doing that again, and I would practice going up and down. So C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C. Ta-da! You have learned your B flat scale. Something you could add to that once you feel like you've gotten the fingerings down for the C scale is adding that M pushing the air through sound, the buzzing, right? So again, not on pitch, but good to practice the movement of the air. And remember, as you get higher, so you start at the C and your embouchure is a little bit looser, and some people might ask, what happens, right? C and G are the same, it's 0, right? So you aren't pushing down anything, but they're different notes. So how do I do that? The answer is, since G is higher than your C below the staff, you're tightening your embouchure. So C, right, if you're versus G. I don't know if that's on pitch or not because I don't have perfect pitch, but we'll do it on the trumpet to show you. So C below the staff. G above the staff. Tighten my embouchure. And then C within the staff. So just loosening and tightening. So something you can do as you're practicing your fingerings is buzz and tighten your embouchure and loosen it as you go. This is if you don't have a trumpet. If you have a trumpet, practice it on the trumpet. So ta-da! Again, I've had like a lot of practice at doing that, so mine might sound more like a scale. Yours might not, but as long as you're practicing it, that's what matters. So that's actually all right now that you can do without your horn. For next time, you're going to either need a horn or a pretty cheap mouthpiece. You can buy these online on Amazon, like plastic ones, really inexpensively. See if you can get a used trumpet if you're really interested in learning how to do this and excited about it, or just watch for funsies. that's it for this Trumpet Tuesday. Next week, we're going to be talking about maybe the chromatic scale and learning how to play your first song. So, practice with your improvised things that you have. Get a trumpet, get a mouthpiece, borrow a trumpet, just watch to support me. All of the above. Have a great rest of your week. I'll see you on Friday for my Positive Friday video. And yeah, that's the outro. See you next time. Goodbye.